Hey guys, welcome to the Brushmaster Studio. Let's get cracking with some painting, shall we? And let's paint this. Right guys, we're painting the Jailer from Bestiarum Games today. And the base coat I've added is a mix of olive green and green ochre here, just to give me something a little bit lighter to work from. And we're going to start today with actually adding the shading rather than the highlights. The first bit of shading on this with olive green and brick red. Now I want this skin to look quite sort of dirty and rough. This character is very much a sort of grimy, grubby sort of character who probably doesn't get out in the sunlight very much and certainly doesn't wash very much. So I want his skin to look quite sort of grubby, dirty. So I'm adding in this sort of red. I would imagine that he's got lots of sort of grime and crap and old blood hanging around his body. So we're trying to make this a bit sort of dirty. And I'm painting this in sort of the opposite how I normally go about painting things. I like to change things up a bit. So this time we're working from light to shadows first of all, whereas normally I will paint dark and then work purely up to the highlights. So we're going to work from into the shadows first of all. And as you can see here, I've thinned this paint down a fair bit. It's probably 2 or 3 to 1 water to paint. And I'm just running this sort of muddy reddish greenish mix into the deepest recesses in the shadows. And I'm going to go in with an even deeper shadow here. So this is amethyst blue that I'm going to mix into that original mix. So it's going to give me that sort of purpley, much darker colour that I'm going to keep to just the deepest recesses here. So again, like I said, these areas like the chest and the knees, I want to create the illusion that these areas are really sort of deep shadows and really dark, especially under the chest area here. You can see the breasts or the chest muscles there, they really fold under, so we want to create that feeling of depth around those, that there is a really deep undercut in those areas. So we've got all the shadows set now, so I'm going to start doing the highlights now, and for this I've gone back to olive green and added a little bit of green ochre in, and I want to really pick out the areas of the skin that I want to stand out and to pop. So we're going to build up these lights now on the most raised areas of the miniature and the areas which I want to emphasize. So as I said earlier, we've built up these areas of interest with lots of contrast. So now we need to push that contrast by adding lighter zones in to make the dark zones look even darker, if that makes sense. And now we're going to another light or highlight area, and this is pure green ochre this time. And the paints I'm using, it's sort of a layer sort of consistency, a sort of one-to-one paint to water mix. And we're just painting even smaller highlights now and just building up those very bright areas. So when I get to sort of this stage of the miniature, I've really picked out little areas that I believe will make the miniature stand out. And on here it's like definitely the chest muscles, the top of the head area, and the bit just above the jail. You see where his stomach is split? These are the sort of areas I want to stand out that I feel will make the miniature really pop. So for the very last highlight here, I've added in a little bit of buff to my green ochre mix, and this I'm going to use just to put some colour on the teeth. I liked the green ochre colour, and I thought this would be a good thing just to add a bit of buff into, and I could paint the teeth while I had a mix there that I wanted to use. It sort of works really nicely, and the teeth stand out really well on the miniature here. And there's really not a lot more to do to them. They're very small, so they just need picking out with this lighter colour. And the teeth come out lovely. And here's the result of the finished part of the skin, guys. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on another Brushmaster video.